I want you to think of a child in your life. This might be a neighbor's child, it might be a grandchild, a daughter, a son. It might be a little cousin or niece or nephew. And I want you to think of that child for a minute. And I want you to imagine that this child has grown up in Swannanoa. And whatever their age is, add 25 years to their age. They're now going to be adults. And you're going to meet them as an adult. And they have come to visit you. And they want to stay and raise their children here in Swannanoa, in this community, because it's an amazing, thriving community. So as this young adult comes to thank you for all the work you've done to help make this a thriving community,
I think that there's this stereotype of these small, southern, unincorporated communities, these old mill towns, of stubbornness and conservatism, and I think there's also a stereotype of poverty. And so it's been really interesting to learn that it's an incredibly mixed income area. So, I mean, just in one neighborhood, you'll see a couple trailers next to a middle income house, next to a mansion. I've also learned that although I think that there's probably people are voting conservatively, people are not stubborn on this issue. I mean, Southerners are, more than anyone, are willing to open up and share their opinions and listen to your opinions. And so just through these conversations and talking about these specific issues to Swannanoa, like sidewalks and public transportation, we've started to learn as a community together about what resources are available to us and what we can do to make change in our community that everyone can agree with. As most of y'all know, we've been doing a listening project for over a year now, and we've talked to over 100 different people in Swannanoa, and we've just been taking notes and recording all the positives and all the things that people want to see improve in the community. So what I've been doing this year is just taking in all that information and putting it together and identifying the main concerns. And here they are. This is them. So it might be a little small, so I'll read them. Here are the main things listed by people that we've been going door to door in Swannanoa asking about. So rebuilding the downtown business area, improving the bus system, improving roads and sidewalks, reclaiming public schools, access to health care, alternatives to drugs, more parks and recreation, trash and recycling services, voter registration and education, and living wage jobs. So this is what y'all have been telling us for the past year, and we've just put it all together. So use your 3 stars and pick your top 3 issues that you're most concerned about that we can focus on tonight, and then we'll break in and see what research needs to be done to address these issues, what things are available to us, and who we can start contacting to get some of this stuff done. The intent behind organizing the visioning event was really to begin the process of moving from a listening project to a listening and action project. And so, like I said, we've been doing the listening project for over a year now, and we feel like we have a pretty good sense of, what's going on, what people want to see change in Swannanoa. And so we wanted to start involving people and bringing people a little closer to leadership positions. So really, in collaboration with the Warren Wilson course, the social work course, we worked with students to think about how can we do this? What's the best way? And there's lots of thoughts that goes into it. So where's a space that people are willing to go to? And we met in the same place that Welcome Tables held, because that's a place that many of the people I'm familiar with in Swannanoa are familiar with. And we thought about how can we avoid dictating what's said in the event? So we took all of the main concerns that we found in the community through the listening project and had people choose which ones were most important to them at that event, which ones they would be willing to talk about and to organize around.
a good story about Pooh too, because I didn't get it till after I was homeless. So Pooh has been my companion ever since I've had a home. 10 years I've been going down here to the Methodist Church for the lunch, and I would bring my uncle.
You mean the welcome table?
The welcome table, yeah. And I liked Wananoa. You know, we'd pass through, and my uncle would say, "Oh, this used to be," you know, because he would know more about Wananoa than me.
Yeah.
But he said it sure has developed. You know, that's his words. And mine were that after he passed away, it developed even more. So when I came over here, it was just, I could find these houses that were affordable and yet nice. You know, very, very nice. And I like Wananoa because everything is here unique.
Yeah.
The thing about safety around here is really going to be a problem. Like I said, the sun was stolen off the porch. You know, I've had it out here 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, when it was taken off my porch.
Why do you think people are breaking and entering so much?
Drugs.
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 So that's really the root of the problem, huh?
I think it's drugs and money for drugs, because the night I was wrong, that's what he asked for drugs and money.
The most issues with the most stars are the bus system, so access to transportation, improving the roads and sidewalks, and then Beacon Lot and rebuilding downtown were tied. So, and I think those can go together.
Yeah.
So if we want to maybe break into 3 groups.
Okay, who wants to work on sidewalks?
Well, we moved here in 1950.
Oh wow. So 65 years. All right. And that y'all moved here when you got married?
No, we was married about almost a year when we moved here, wasn't we?
All right. And y'all met in the factory, right?
Yeah.
In one of the cafes.
Well, I went to work there when I was 16, just a little over 16.
Oh wow, you've got
And then I worked till I was about just before I was 18, and went in the Navy in World War II. Spent 3 years in the Navy, and then came back and went back to work. I stayed there till I retired at 65, and then I was out about 6-7 months, and they called me and asked me if I'd come back and work part-time, and I went and worked part-time till they closed the place. So I was there for a long time. Look at this in here, see. This is
look at that.
Now that was made,
Wow.
that was whenever I'd been, they gave us that at the Quarter of a Century Club when we had been married, been working there for 50 years. Or 25 years.
It's got that same label on it.
Yeah. But that was specifically made for the employees.
I wonder who put up this sign here.
Whoever owns it now, I reckon. I don't even know who owns it now. Somebody bought it and then they was going to do something with it, but they never have. There's talking about building condos in there.
So, I'm going to pass this bag around, and what's in here is acorns. And what I want you to imagine is this acorn is the first seed of our community work, and that it's a seed that's going to grow into a huge tree in the next 25 years or lifetime of this young child that you envisioned. And so I want you to say one word that symbolizes what tonight is meant to you. And I'm going to say hope.
Progress. I feel inspired.
That's one.
Excited. Community.
Collaborative.
Possibilities.
Opportunities.
True community.
I got 2 acorns, so momentum and growth.
Rejuvenation.
Connection.
Soul.
Hope.
Happiness.
Potential.
Beginning.
Empowerment.
Action.
Relationships. Conversation.
Power.
Manifestation. So proud.
Thank you all so much. And we will be back in touch soon. Okay, thank you.
Happy night.